I'd like to ask everybody in attendance to please stand for the pledge of allegiance, followed by a moment of silence in honor of our troops. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. The following matters have been placed on the consent agenda are routine in nature and will be passed with one vote of the council. Should any member of the council or the audience wish to have an item removed from the consent agenda for individual consideration, please say so now and it will be removed and considered following the approval of remaining consent items. Consent items include minutes from the council meeting on April 13, 2026, payroll for the pay period ending April 18th in the amount of $269,022.75, and staff reports. Do you have a motion to approve consent agenda items?
So moved. Second.
And please call the roll.
Councilmember Comnic?
Aye.
Councilmember Cernovich?
Aye.
Councilmember Baker?
Aye.
Mayor Moore?
Aye. Next, we have approval of the bills for April 27th in the amount of $352,717.36. Do we have a motion to approve payment of the bills?
So moved. Second.
And any discussion?
No, go ahead. Okay. Okay.
Giving you guys the floor. Chris, can we start with BEA of Illinois, new disconnect installation and feed pull from influent to transformer? Just not really questioning, but looking for an update on kind of what your crew's doing. What was that?
Sure. So at our wastewater treatment plant, we had a very old transformer that was improperly installed to begin with. It had completely lost its function and had ceased to be a valuable asset at that point. So we engaged with BEA, who's done a ton of work out there at the wastewater treatment plants. They suggested that not only did the transformer need to be replaced, but that the cables feeding it from the utility service needed to be replaced, and that the electrical service that ran off of that transformer to the blower building and to other areas of the wastewater treatment plant also needed to be replaced. So this was actually, it was a good improvement to the function of the wastewater treatment plant that was driven by an emergency situation. It was kind of a long overdue sort of overhaul to a lot of the electrical equipment that you see as soon as you go into the wastewater treatment plant. And this actually went down about 2 months ago, so we were still in freezing conditions. And so part of it was driven by the blower building not freezing over to get BEA in and to do that type of work. And so the bills that you see now tonight are probably some of the last that you'll see. I think that's really it. I think it was about 7,000 or so, just for those final little bits of running a cable here, terminating it there, that type of thing.
Have you kind of, where do you feel like you're at in terms of a material condition assessment of the wastewater treatment plant?
I think that there's still a lot of redundancy that we need to bring to that setup, because I think we just in the past couple of weeks we've had 2 major valves fail out there, and also a pump fail out there to the tune of about 20,000, and those, we always end up in an emergency situation because we don't have a backup. We don't have the ability to kind of pick and choose when we can execute this. And so I still think there's a lot of work to be done out there.
So are those types of casualties like shut down, they are impacting major functions?
Right, yeah, in the case of these valves, basically what we did was throw a couple of sump pumps that were completely outclassed to keep that pit dry. And if we weren't limping along on sump pumps, then we would be overflowing sewage into waterway.
Okay. All right, thanks. It's important work, obviously. So just, continue. I think it's important for not only us, but the constituents to continue to hear, what the condition of, what the severity of it, what the importance of it, and also the professionalism with which your crew continues to approach these things.
Yeah, considering the fact that it's outlived its useful life to this point, so yeah, keeping up with it is important.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge credit to Kirby and Romero both, and just the Bach crew out there, who they keep us going.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate that. And obviously, pass it along from us as well, our appreciation.
Will do.
The next one, I think I'm probably, done with you for just a few minutes here as I work through these.
Okay.
But leadership development, who did we have go to leadership development courses? And yeah.
I'm not as tall as he is. Can you hear me? All right. Leadership development. Our special operations officer, Sean Frank, he went to this leadership development and decision-making course down at IFSI. Basically, it trains him to kind of be a leader both on and off the fire ground. So that's basically a quick gist of it.
How long was the course?
A week.
All right.
Yep. So.
What are we bringing back? Does he have like some sort of train-the-trainer abilities? Can he bring back that course? And
Yep. So most of the classes at IFSI that we go to, it's not necessarily a train-the-trainer, but they come back. Everybody, being a small department, everybody kind of trains everybody in what they learn. So he did that. He also did a rope ops class, so he came back and he's been working with our new hire with ropes and different types of like tactical type training.
So the ropes course might be something that someone around here might say, hey, we don't have a lot of hills, we don't have a lot of tall buildings.
True.
Can you just like let us know?
Yeah, so we do have a lot of grain bins around here, being the only full-time department, and especially having the ladder truck that we have makes it a great asset for the communities around us, and not just here, but a lot of the small towns around us and farmers. So
awesome. Awesome. Yeah. That's all I had on that. Thank you. Column software, KZ, for Planning Commission and Zoning Board. I'm unfamiliar. What are those two parts of our government using?
What was it? I'm sorry.
Column software, PVC.
Oh, that is, Keith, is that the notices? So that's actually Quad City Times where we have to post notices of the meetings that it's just under.
All right, so yeah, we're not paying for they're not using a tool, or that's just the required postings that go.
Yes. Yeah.
Got it. Cottingham Butler Insurance looks like a repeat bill here. It was in the warrant list last meeting for $6,300.
It's a monthly charge that we get from them.
I think it says quarterly.
Oh, sorry, quarterly, yes. They were behind on billing us. Thank you. They were behind on billing us, which is why we had two back-to-back.
Okay. No further questions on that. We can talk about that during budget time, I guess, but okay. So it's not a duplicate.
No.
They happened to come at the end of a quarter and the beginning of a quarter?
Correct.
So this one is the Economic Development Group. I've asked this question before and just kind of asking it again. I'm not sure what we get from the Economic Development Group. I know, Klein and our law firm, that supports TIF, but I'm not sure what this is and what we're getting from them. I've never heard from them, haven't met anybody from this group. Not sure if we could have some clarity.
We can get that for you. I know the short answer is they help manage like our TIF funds and make sure we're paying out properly and everything, but I will get you more
It
information.
seems like a lot of money that we pay them, and I'm not sure I feel like we're getting our money's worth there. But maybe we are. I just, so like some information might be helpful.
Can do.
Oh, Federal Aviation Administration, this one piqued my interest, drone registration. We've got Part 107 operators now, Chief?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Can't wait to know more.
It's to register a drone with the FAA. That's all it really is. $5, I think it was.
Well,
it's
yeah,
annually.
so what are we registering?
Just we have a drone right now that's 10 years old. So we'll be talking about that about budget time too. But it basically is used for missing persons,
So
wanted
who's
people.
operating it, though?
We have drone operators. We have 2 right now. They're licensed pilots, but
Yep.
low level to fly drones.
So they've got their Part 107?
Sure, I don't know what that means, but they had the training that they needed, we paid for it, and they are good to fly, those drones, yeah. And that just registers it with FAA.
Yeah.
That's all that is.
Can't wait to learn more about that
Yeah, well,
program
you're
too.
gonna find out more in a little bit.
Awesome.
So,
We had a
yep.
demonstration on that at one time.
Yeah.
Was that here or was that at?
I think we done like Hog Days, Prairie Chicken Festival, is probably, I think where you saw it, was
Yeah.
there, so we'll break it out every now and then. Yeah, it's a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, you can get your license too.
Okay, so Chris, for a couple of these bills are some, more pricey ones. They are not indicated to be emergencies, but like lavalier construction, 18,800. And I think also you had a pollution control systems, which was the pumps that you were speaking about. To what degree are we writing up standard scopes of work and putting out something that can be bid on apples to apples by more than one company?
Yeah, the lavalier was the emergency valve replacement at the wastewater treatment plant. And the pollution control systems was that pump failure that we mentioned earlier.
Right, so did we have an opportunity to seek more than one bid and
So
pursue an economic?
for the lavalier one, we did offer it to our local contacts, and like Dooley Brothers and Ratlifts and whatnot, and neither one of them was interested in taking that on.
Okay.
So they just didn't have the capacity at the time. That's why we ended up going with lavalier on that one. And then for the pump one, that was the only company that was able to supply that pump at that time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. I just want to make sure that like we continue to go out, we continue to try and.
No, we've definitely been, reaching out much more rapidly, and then, just utilizing a quick call out sheet.
Awesome, yeah, appreciate it. So for Triangle Concrete, we've got 26.75 yards of concrete. It's less about the concrete. This is more of a request for how we bill these and track these, account for these. So this is for 5 projects. As we try and pursue, I don't know if these are large projects, so trying to make sure that we are tracking cost per project and making sure that we have good accounting. Are these too small to do that? What do you think, Courtney? Maybe a question.
I don't know exactly what those ones are for, so if
You said it was like 26 yards, you said? 20?
Right, but it's it's the multiple projects.
Right.
That are under one line item.
Yeah, the way Triangle delivers their tickets and the way that we've been noting it down, I agree it's not ideal. And I've run into it a couple of times now where we end up with this aggregate invoice of, hey, this is what we got settling up for 5 projects.
Yeah.
So I agree we can track it better. I think that in this case, I looked at these 5 and I said, okay, that one was a sidewalk, this one was a, road patch for a water pipe. It's here and there type of stuff. Like you said, it was 20-some yards.
Yeah.
And it's spread out over, I don't know, 6 weeks or something like that. But yeah, I agree. We can work with Triangle to see if we can't get some more thorough documentation there, because we end up with invoices and tickets, and the tickets are usually like carbon copy, handwritten, and smeared with concrete.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah, it's not super easy to track
The
right now.
solution might not, be right-sized for this particular example. I'm just trying to bring it up because I saw for 5 projects, kind of like we've talked along the lines before, Courtney, of trying to okay, when we put out something, this is a street repair project that's gonna be blank, we've really gotta tie everything for accountability and accounting into that project so we know that we're on budget or when we're over budget. And so just it was the multiple projects in there that.
Sure. These are, stuff that just Public Works was working on. It wasn't like we had outside contractors or we were delivering this concrete to outside contractors. It was, the sidewalk on First and Main, stuff like that.
Yeah, okay. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Cernovich.
Aye.
Councilmember Baker.
Aye.
Councilmember Connick.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. We will move on to public comments. If there's anyone who wishes to address the council regarding anything that is not on the agenda, please step up to the microphone, state your name, and please bear in mind that there is a 3-minute time limit per speaker.
Here we go. Hello, my name is Levi Schwagen, and I would like to infer about perhaps everyone here looking into maybe a birth center or some kind of way in which people can have birth services within town, or how would, what would need to happen?
Well, you'd have to have one of the medical facilities, whether it's OSF or you'd have to have one of the medical facilities that was on board with that. And at this point, I think that would be very difficult to do, because there's a reason that they, shut their birthing centers down to begin with. They weren't, at the time they shut down, from the information that I got, they were not financially, pulling their own weight. It's not, cost effective for them to keep them open.
Is there any way to look into new avenues, looking outside and maybe contacting people outside of town, of perhaps maybe, I know you guys like bids, I don't know exactly all the details about that, but maybe you could bid it out?
No, that's not something we could just bid out. We don't have facilities set up for that, so I don't know what we would bid out. Basically, if we had somebody come in new, they would have to either build a facility or renovate a current building to satisfy their needs. You're looking at a huge, huge expense, no matter how they did it, if it was not already an existing medical facility.
Unfortunately, it's not something that the city controls.
Yeah, plain and simple. But we could reach out and see if anybody has an interest in bringing that to Kewanee, but that's as far as we could go. We couldn't force their hand, all we can do is ask.
I mean, reaching out is a great step, I'd say. It's better than the sort of 12 years of limbo the town has been in. Not 12 years. It's been 15 years. Jeez. 15?
It's been a while.
16. Yeah.
So, yeah, that was
Yeah.
that was what I wanted to call attention to.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Anybody else? We will move on to new business. Item A, Bill number 26-37, resolution approving and adopting the Henry and Stark Counties Multiple Jurisdictional Local Hazard Mitigation Plan. This agreement is designed to foster cooperation between local, county, state, and federal government entities. With its passage, systems and plans will be in place to promote health and safety to individuals and property before, during, and after natural disasters and emergencies. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
And discussion?
Should we go through it page by page?
No, we should not.
Right.
We don't have that much time.
It is very lengthy.
Yeah, I'm on page 99.
In a nutshell, the city is not financially obligated to do anything. We are not required to do anything. It's basically, we need to have plans in place, and anything we do infrastructure-wise, culverts, drains, anything like that we keep all of that in mind as far as flooding and drainage, and if we're removing trees for hazardous reasons, and then just kind of tracking all of that. And by adopting this plan and doing those things, it opens up lots of grant opportunities for us, as well as if we were to have a disaster, we would be more likely to get help and funding because we've adopted this plan.
Kind of like when FEMA came in, when we had the tornadoes in Kewanee.
And I appreciate the early notice we got on this.
Yeah,
So
when
we
I
could
saw
go
the packet,
through
I
it.
was, or
Yeah, we had
needed plenty of time to go through that.
And the other thing worth underlining is a lot of this was continuation of what's already been in prior plans all the way across too. So it's just a recommitment to that same process.
Yeah.
Did you, or did our staff have the same kind of read ahead? I mean, as soon as you got it, you let us kind of know about it, but, I read in here that there was some hearings at that county level.
I
To what
sent
degree
it,
did we-
yeah, I sent it to Chris and Kathleen because those were the two that it affects most. But I believe prior staff had a hand in the conversations, the meetings, the planning, the putting together of this plan. So those of us here, not so much, but we will going forward.
So we have an emergency coordinator, I forget the exact name of the position, that is currently Chief Welgott, correct? So will that just matriculate?
I believe that's the plan. Yeah.
Yes, I'm what's considered the ESDA director. I'm in charge of any storm or major catastrophes. We, in a major situation like with the tornadoes, my first call is to the Office of Emergency Management and Director Schnepley out there, who's got his fingerprints all over this mitigation plan. So he is there, he's a huge asset. Hey, you guys need to do this, this, and this, and then you'll get state money to help with the problem you're having, or you'll get federal funds, things along those lines. So it's my job as the director for the city to notice that we have an emergency or something that needs mitigating. My first action is to call him and say, what do I gotta do?
Yeah.
And he knows that entire thing you read, that word for word, so we've got a great asset out there.
Yeah, we lose Matt, and it's going to be difficult, if not impossible, to replace him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's one of the most knowledgeable people in that area that I know.
Yep, he's been great. He's been great to work with.
Yeah.
Anything else? Please call the roll.
Councilmember Baker.
Aye.
Councilmember Comnic.
Aye.
Councilmember Cernovich.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye. And next we have Bill number 26-38, ordinance granting a request for a variance to the maximum allowable height of an accessory structure to Deborah Kopp at 418 West South Street. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
And discussion. My only concern is, the possibility that it, that intersection right there, that it would, possibly hinder the view, but I went out there and there's, the landscaping would be more of a hindrance than that building ever will be. So I don't see any issues with it.
Yeah, and then initially I reading through, I went out there, drove by as well. I, was kind of concerned about like, okay, is this going to fit right in this type of neighborhood? And then the lot, I read through the packet again, saw that a purchase of a piece of the adjacent property had occurred that didn't quite show up on the maps that I was looking at.
County to be slow on getting those updated.
Right. But yes, sir, I felt like things looked like it would fit well.
Yeah, I know over the years, we've had some pretty bad accidents there, so I did have a concern, but out there and just double checking, I don't see it to be an issue.
Potentially, the only thing that I didn't quite see as considered, and Keith, we've had variance requested for larger driveways. Was that considered at all? I didn't quite see a note on that, but we're going to be storing vehicles. Are we going to have a subsequent variance requested for a wider driveway for this, or?
So they shouldn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but you were planning on an additional driveway to approach that building, and as long as it's got...
So it's got a separation.
It's got to have a 10-foot separation by code, and they'll have easily that.
Right.
So it shouldn't be an issue, I don't think.
Yeah, and not that, I don't want to speak to whether it would or would not be, but I just, wanted to address all elements that might be necessary here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I mentioned in the minutes there that I did have one person call me, just because they were a little bit confused, and once I explained it to them, they're like, okay. Yeah. And no one showed up, at the meeting, so.
Yeah.
Anything else for Keith while he's still here?
All right.
Thank you, Keith.
Thanks.
Anything else anybody like to add? Nope. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Comnic?
Aye.
Councilmember Cernovich?
Aye.
Councilmember Baker?
Aye.
Mayor Moore?
Aye. That concludes our new business, so we will move on to council communications. Councilman Baker.
Yes, I would like to say publicly I'm excited about Casey taking on a position. I think as a leader, she carries the values of transparency, accountability, responsibility. The list goes on. I'm sorry I missed it last week. Our soldier came back from Poland. I don't know why the military didn't want to tell us a specific time he's coming. So he had to stay at the airport at midnight till whenever the flight came. So we were just in limbo, but he did come back. But once again, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And I'm looking forward to working with you.
Appreciate that.
That's all, Mayor.
Councilman Conley.
I don't have much here, other than Cinco de Mayo coming up.
Yep.
So I'm sure you probably have that on your notes as well.
Actually, no, I figured that you guys would just hit.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be at Northeast Park and the 2nd, Saturday. So that should be a good time. So whether you like a good party or you just want to celebrate the Battle of Pueblo, either way, that should be good.
Yeah, lots of great stuff for the kids, vendors,
Good
food,
food.
entertainment.
Excellent food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's what I always think of first is the food.
Yeah. So that's, oh, you know what I did? I didn't have it wrote down here, but I have had numerous people complaining about the e-scooters again.
Oh, yeah.
On sidewalks, through parks,
I saw the main
middle of the street, by McDonald's. I mean,
Yep, we've had, I just actually put an email out last week with the warmer weather for scooters and for UTVs and golf carts too. We had a couple stops already on the golf carts for sure. Adults and kids on scooters, we're definitely going to do a better job this year of trying to get that enforced more. I don't know if we'll be issuing citations or not, kind of left it up to the officers, but at least making stops, having conversations with like parents, stuff like that.
well, I've been telling people too, it's kind of a time and place thing too, since we can't be everywhere all the time.
Yeah, and people, called in, we'll do the best we can too, but officers are informed to look out for it and try to be proactive with that issue.
Excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, Mayor, I forgot something. I did go to I went to a conference, a poverty conference, and from Project Now, and it was very informative. There is a young lady, I left her card at my house, I was in Casey, that she actually, we had an individual that was behind the bowl shop. She actually went there and got the individual and got him placed. The reason why he was homeless because he was a sex offender, and they wouldn't let him rent nowhere. And you can't have a job unless you have a home, a residence. So she said she wants to come to our community. She wants a contact person. And I saw a couple of trees. She said, if you give me their names, I'll come here and I'll help them out. Because there's funding for it based on what the federal government will allow. You know, there's so much. But she was very helpful. It was a good conference. I have more information, but I'm not going to elaborate on that now. But I was excited about that conference. And thank you, Casey, for signing me up. It was pretty good.
It's exciting.
Yep.
You know, I'd love to talk to her.
Mike, anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Councilman Cernovich.
Yeah, just want to put a plug in. Obviously, we're having very nice weather. Summer's around the corner. The Chamber of Commerce and their Farmers Market Committee is bringing a new and improved farmers market to Berrien Park. So please support that. Get out and support your Chamber of Commerce and the farmers market and our local vendors. So starting on Saturdays, May 16th, but also starting Wednesdays, Wednesday evenings, they'll have food trucks and entertainment. And that's starting on June 3rd. So weekly entertainment, food trucks on Wednesday evenings, as well as your normal farmers market on Saturday mornings.
And that's all at Berrien Park?
Yep. So also, as your lawns are growing, as you're taking care of your own spaces, look around and find volunteer groups to be a part of. Your town needs you in other areas. There's a lot of public flower beds that could need our support and use our support. So look to get involved, please. That's all I got. Thank you.
Okay. I just have a couple things. Because of the diligent work of several city employees, Kewanee was recently recognized by the Arbor Day Foundation as a tree city. A plaque will soon be installed in the rotunda here at City Hall, and we will be receiving a flag that will also be displayed with pride outside of City Hall. And second, Kewanee High School's band and choir once again won the IHSA Music Sweepstakes State Championship. You know, I remember saying last year after they won the state championship how difficult it is to win the state championship once, but let alone 2 years. Now here they are, have won it 3 consecutive years. They are the state champions. It's extremely remarkable to say the least.
No pressure for next year.
They are, no kidding. They're obviously doing something right out there at Kewanee High School. So I feel I speak for the entire council offering a huge congratulations. And that is all I have. We have no announcements, so.
No, but I'll quickly piggyback off of Councilmember Cernovich. Concerts in the Park will also be starting up soon here in front of City Hall. They always have good food and good entertainment as well, so keep on the lookout for those dates in advance.
Do you know if the Boy Scouts are going to be doing food again this year?
I think it's FFA.
FFA, okay. Yep. Another good program.
Yeah.
So no announcements, so how about a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Shouldn't be that hard.
No.
We'll get to go home. Please call the roll.
Councilmember Comnic.
Aye.
Councilmember Cernovich. Councilmember Baker.
Aye.
Mayor Moore.
Aye.